Hi, my name is Mike. Thanks for joining me today on my channel, Technically Church, where I share over 20 years of experience in audio, video, lighting, and multimedia. You can always find out more on my website at technicallychurch.com. Let's jump in. In this video, I'm going to talk about how we at the River Church have our Behringer P16 personal monitors set up, just in case you guys want to learn something new. All right, so just a little background on the River Church. It's a larger church. We do have a full band. We regularly have 6 vocalists on stage, as well as 1 to 2 acoustic guitars, 1 to 2 electric guitars, keys, pads, bass, obviously a drum kit, and then we do run multi-tracks playback, so we have a bunch of loops, we have a click channel, and we have a guide channel. So it's a little challenging working with a 16-channel mixer for the band. So we do have, all of our vocalists have wireless in-ear packs that we mix from our Behringer wing. So that doesn't really apply in this situation. Our background, not background, but our backline, our instruments use the Behringer P16s. So your acoustic players, your electric players, keys, pads, bass, drums, they're all using the P16s. So this configuration is primarily for those instruments and not for vocalists. So because we do have so many channels, we've decided to do several different groupings, and I'll explain those for you. So on the P16 here, channel 1 we have what we call our lead channel, and channel 2 is our background vocalist channel. So that's a little unique. We've come up with this recently and seem to really like it. And I'll explain that in a second. So then we actually give them access to vocalists 1 through 4 on here. So they don't have direct access to vocalists 5 and 6. Then we have a slot for acoustic, 2 slots for electric, keys, pads, bass, a drum bus, a bus with all the tracks mixed in there, a guide and TalkBack channel together, and a click channel. So let's walk through these one by one. So the lead vocalist channel, what we do is we have a bus on the Behringer wing that always has that lead vocalist in it because it switches song to song. So on song 1, vocal 1 might be leading. On song 2, vocal 2 might be leading. And so those people are going to flip-flop in that first channel automatically. So what this allows our band to do is they can have that lead vocal channel on in their ears, and they know that they're always going to get that leader in that channel. So they don't have to song make any changes. And then they have access to channel 2, which is our background vocal channel. That always has all of the vocalists except for the leader in it. So they can choose to have that in their mix if they want, maybe have it at a lower volume than that lead channel, or not have it at all. Now, we do have doubled up vocals 1, 2, 3, and 4, so it's their choice. If they want to mix those themselves, they have that choice. They just don't have access to 5 and 6 directly, and we typically don't have vocals 5 and 6 lead anything. So that's how we have our vocals set up. And then we just have direct channels for acoustic, 2 electrics, keys, pads, and bass. So those are just simple direct channels. The next one would be drums. So we do have a drum bus set up on the wing, has all 8 of our drum mics in there, set up pre-fader, and it's a mix that the drummer wants. So, he has mixed that himself, and then all the musicians have access to that drum bus. Next is our tracks bus. This is similar. The only difference is it is actually post-fader. So we run all of our tracks into the wing individually. So I have access to every single track coming from playback at front of house, but I do group that together into one bus for the P16s. Now that is post-fader, so they're actually going to get my mix of the tracks in their ears, which is very helpful because we don't always use all the tracks. Sometimes the tracks double up the instruments. And so we do that post-fader on purpose so that if I have a piano track and I also have a piano player, at front of house I'm going to turn that piano track off, and they also wouldn't want to listen to it in their P16 either, so that's automatically going to get turned off in their P16. So that's pretty useful there. Now because we run out of channels, so we do separate the click and the guide. So the guide is the person who tells us verse 1, verse 2, chorus, right? So we do separate those so that they can get their own mix of the volumes between click and guide. Now in addition to that, I call it the guide TalkBack channel. The guide channel is a bus which also mixes my TalkBack mic and our pastor's mics into it. So that way they can hear those things. This seems to work well for us because anytime a song is going, I'm typically not talking to them, so that doesn't matter. And our pastors usually are not on the stage talking either. So it works out pretty well. So that's a pretty basic setup of how we run our P16s here at the River Church. Thanks for joining me today. Again, my name is Mike. You can always find out more on my website, technicallychurch.com, or on my YouTube channel, Technically Church. Look forward to seeing you soon.